Welcome to the Enjoy More 30s Family Finance Podcast, the only podcast dedicated to making life more enjoyable for young families by hitting on the financial topics that tend to weigh on us, stress us out, and distract our focus from simply enjoying life.
Hello and welcome once again to the Enjoy More 30s Family Finance Podcast and our series recap for you today of the Financial Parables of Your Life series. As always, if you like what you're hearing, which I hope you do, please make sure to subscribe or follow us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. Clicking the star, leaving the review, it really helps us reach the quite literally millions of other young families out there that are just like you. Now, why I did this series was to help, hopefully help, I guess I should say, you to grasp onto more of these financial concepts through the power of story. Storytelling is such a powerful medium. It helps us remember. I want you to have less anxiety. I want you to have less financial worry so you can just focus your energy on what matters most, which is enjoying more living with your family, with your friends, and doing real things in life. You don't need to have anxiety when it comes to money. I say this all the time because with the right mindset and a few steps in the right direction, you can really make huge strides. It's not outside of your reach. Lastly, I always want to remind you here to be proud of the steps as you take them. You're not going to cover everything in this series tomorrow, maybe ever, but if you take even one step forward, you are better off than before. So look at that gain as opposed to just the gap that's still in front of you. So as I run through a recap of our stories, think about which ones would be the most important for you to remember and hold on to those in the front of your mind. Take action on those specific stories. So the first one that we did was called Belling the Kitten. You have a problem, you feel worried about some unknown, take action. Put a bell on that cat. Don't be afraid to improve. More times than not, it's going to turn out to be just this little kitten problem instead of a big scary cat problem anyway. If you cared enough to listen to these episodes, if you care enough to listen to this recap, you are capable enough to get that clarity and confidence. The second episode we did was Great Grandma's Roast. So the story there and the moral of that one was don't just keep cutting off the ends of the roast because that's how you were taught. Question what will actually make you happy. It doesn't have to be what everyone else thinks they should want to have. More clarity on where you want to go to be happy means more chance you'll actually end up there, which would be fantastic. Number 3, the ant and the grasshopper and the other grasshopper. This one is easy. It's very straightforward. You can't play all the time like the grasshopper. You also shouldn't have to work all the time, though, like the ant. If you save early like the other grasshopper every morning, put a little bit away every morning early on in your life, then you could play more without having to worry. Fourth episode here, the Turtle in the Hare remix. Here we don't want to be the turtle. I know the turtle is traditionally the hero of the story. Don't want to be the turtle. Be the hare. He's way faster than the turtle. He should win the race. Just be smarter with how you run the race. When you start early with a plan, you are a hare. If you stay on the path, you are very likely to be where you want to be at the end of the day, at the end of the path. So be careful of taking any quick shortcuts and investments or otherwise to try to get there overnight. That's how the hare gets into trouble. Number 5, 2 houses on Pleasantville Ave. There's a lot to be said for having money working for you outside of your home. Flexibility, financial flexibility. If you don't have a job, will the bank give you a loan? Nope. Do you want to sell your home to access the equity? Probably a nope to that one too. So there's a lot to be said for maintaining financial flexibility when it comes to the equity in your home. Number 6, the crow and the pitcher. One pebble is very small. Pebble upon pebble, though, builds up so you can drink out of that pitcher. And with compound interest, those pebbles are more like little sponges, each expanding more and more as the years go by. So start with that one pebble and then keep throwing them in the pitcher. Number 7, the empty boat. There are boats everywhere along the river of life that we lead. We'd really like to think that they're all safely captained, well-trained, responsible individuals, but that isn't how life works. Protecting with the right insurances and planning ahead of time is how we keep our heads up as we look down the river to avoid the boats as well as we can as they're coming down towards us. Number 8, the master heron. Currently right now, is better than perfect. You don't need the big promotion to start saving. It doesn't have to be $1,000 a month or nothing. There's no minimum. Like the heron, if you wait too long, you're going to wind up eating the snail. Gross. Number 9, the fisherman and the little fish. Little fish turn into big fish. So don't wait for the big one. Grab the little one, figure out what pond you want to throw him in, intermediate kind of an account, an IRA, a 401k, a Roth, and let him grow into a bigger dinner down the road. Number 10, the wild boar and the fox. Here we talked about sharpening your financial tusks ahead of time. When we know what we're going to do through planning ahead of time, it suddenly becomes less scary. If you know how the movie ends, not so scary, right? What if they go to college? Well, here's the plan. What if something happened to me? Well, here's the plan. Will I even retire? Yes, here's the plan. Here's the earliest, here's the latest, here's the trade-offs. What is important to you? So not so scary anymore. Let's enjoy living. So get those tusks nice and sharp ahead of time. Next, number 11, we had the carpenter's stool. A strong stool means a healthy financial situation for your goals to sit on. Cash flow, insurance protection, and investment strategy working in conjunction together are the legs of a stable financial foundation. If you only work on the investment piece of it, then you are not sitting on that stable stool. So don't get distracted. Make sure what you're sitting on is a strong foundation first. And finally, the lion and the mouse. So what are you an expert on? Great, do that. And seek help for all else. So that's pretty much as straightforward as you can get for that one. And that's it for the recap. Hopefully you connected with a number of these stories. Who knows, maybe you've already taken a couple of these steps in a better direction. And woohoo, if so, that's a story I would love to hear. Now for our next series to come. Who doesn't want to be a millionaire? I'm guessing no one, but maybe there's a couple people out there. And that's why our next series is titled 10 Ways to Not Be a Millionaire. So plenty of things not to do, so you know what you do need to do in order to get there. Being a millionaire isn't even a dream anymore. It's a necessity. The rule of thumb distribution rate that is considered sustainable is 4%. So on $1 million portfolio, that is only $40,000 per year. With pensions almost a thing of the past, that only leaves Social Security as a source of fixed income to be able to be relied on. Even that could very well get played with. So you may already want to be a millionaire, but now you should know you need to be one too. So let's get to it. For today, though, that takes us to the end of our Financial Parables of Your Life series. Take some time to review these important areas, share the stories, and make that one positive change again to put yourself one step further along in having life be more enjoyable for you and for your family. If you can absorb and implement all these items, that is fantastic. You are completely amazing, and you have no idea how great it makes me feel thinking I'm helping even one person out there. We really live in just an amazing time where, we can all connect in this kind of a way with people we don't even know, people we may never meet. So if it is overwhelming, though, if you have questions or you just want someone else to help you get all this stuff in order for you so you know exactly where you're going and what path you're on, head on over to our website at www.enjoymore30s.com. That's enjoymore30s.com. Click Ask Joe to connect, or connect with me directly by visiting my wealth management firm, New Horizons Wealth Management, at nhwmllc.com. I probably have helped someone just like you. Thanks so much for joining me today. Thanks so much for joining me this entire series, and I can't wait to connect with you again soon in the series to come.
The conversations on this show are Joe's opinions and provided for general information purposes only. They do not constitute accounting, legal, tax, or other professional advice for your specific situation. You should always seek appropriate advice from a financial advisor, accountant, lawyer, or other professional before acting upon any content or information found here first. Joe is affiliated with New Horizons Wealth Management, LLC, a branch office of TFS Securities, Inc., and TFS Advisory Services, an SEC-registered investment advisor, member FINRA/SIPC.